Humans of the cardboard, welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. This is our final pre-ban list video. The next time you see me, it will be post-ban list, reacting to hopefully the most impactful ban list we've had in quite some time. I do have faith in that. I'm actually relatively optimistic, and that's one of the things I want to talk about for today's video, is there's a lot of negativity kind of just surrounding Konami. It's pretty in vogue to kind of bash Konami and talk about some of their practices and how they treat their players poorly. Yes, 100%, they do not do everything in the best interest of its players, but there's a reason why Konami does those things. I mean, there's a reason why on like one hand, basically, you can count all the successful competitive card games that have stood the test of time, right? And Yu-Gi-Oh! Being one of them. So I do think overall they do a good job. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. Can they do some things that would probably be better, maybe in both of our interests, right? The player base and Konami at the same time. They have not done yet. But I do think overall they do pretty well. And for what it's worth too, we're talking about one very particular piece of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Puzzle, which is the ban list. For what it's worth, I think the TCG specifically has been pretty dang good at ban lists. Now, not every single one is perfect. Sometimes they let cards sit around longer than maybe we would like as a player base, but I don't believe that's going to happen this time, and I think they've done a pretty good job at taking the hint. Towards the end of TOS format, when they did the huge list that axed like everything, right? Like they basically shot Thunder Dragon, Sky Striker, Salamangreat, and Orcus, like all out of the sky, basically all at the same time, because they said, you know what, this format has run its course, we need an axe-it-all ban list, and let's start fresh. I think that's what we're headed for here. I also think, like, another reason I believe in that is I think there were a couple of reasons why Konami sat back and they said, we're going to give this announcement, we're going to tell our entire player base we're waiting a month and a half. We are going, I know the ban list should come right now, but we're going to wait the next month and a half. Their justification was they want to see how Infinite Forbidden affects the format, how the Fiendsmith engine and some of the new cards in that set affect the format, because they don't want to, put out a ban list that people have been waiting for, then a new set come out, and the set has some problematic cards that they didn't realize were going to arise in the format. Now they've had a little bit of extra time to see some of that stuff, and I'm hoping that translates. But to me, I actually, even though that was their justification, and that still does make sense to me, I actually think the bigger thing was they wanted to go through and finish national season with this same list and finishing like the Snake Eye run before, and like really just like finalize the competitive season basically before we start the next one. And basically this ban list is going to come right about as soon as the at the end of nationals, at the end of we had one YCS since nationals, right? And this list is basically going to set us straight going forward with hopefully the new format that kind of feels like a good place to reset and get off the ground running in a new format. So it doesn't feel stale. It doesn't feel like we're being held down in power, with a power vacuum not power vacuum, that's not the word I'm looking for. Like a power struggle where like Snake Eye is kind of dominating everybody. The gravity of Snake Eye and the Fiendsmith engine is kind of suppressing everybody. Now, Fiendsmith will probably stay around for this list, but I don't think Fiendsmith is the craziest thing in the world. I've talked and I said I want Beatrice hit, but other than Beatrice, like, I don't mind much else of what that engine does. It's a good engine, but I don't think it's game-breaking. That's where I'm at. I'm actually relatively optimistic here. I think Konami has the wherewithal. I really appreciate that the TCG specifically, Konami has been way more willing to just ban cards that are central pieces of an archetype rather than do the OCG thing, which is, I'm so happy the TCG does not do, which is do like little baby consistency hits like Snake Eye Ash to 1, Bonfire to 2, Wanted to 1. Like, you start erasing like starter and extender pieces in a deck, but they can still replace it with enough. And that's why Snake Eye has still hung around in the OCG as one of the best decks, tied for one of the best decks, like right now with like Tenpai Dragon. even with multiple consistency hits. So I never thought that was the best way to go about hitting decks. And I have faith that Konami will make the right decision, and they will do what needs to be done on this list. I can't tell you. I mean, honestly, they know better than I do. I can have my prediction list. Everybody can have the list that they think is the right hits to certain decks. Konami knows better than we do, right? Like, they're going to make a decision, and it's normally a pretty purposeful decision. It's not like they didn't know when they made a mistake. It's like they didn't want to completely ban this card in the archetype. They wanted to hit this card, and you know, there's real justification around it. I believe, at least. I think they're smart enough they know what they're doing on these types of lists. So I'm here for it. I think Konami realizes that this is absolutely the time to reset the format and really push us forward with a fresh feeling perspective on the competitive scene. And I think that's exactly what they're going to do tomorrow. We'll obviously wait and see, and you can blast me for this opinion and actually having faith in Konami tomorrow if we find out that the list is super lackluster for what every competitive player was hoping for. But honestly, it doesn't need much. Like, if Snake Eye is hurt really bad on this ban list and almost nothing else happens, I'd still be like, that's pretty good, right? Because we haven't been dealing with Yubel that long, so like maybe Yubel probably steps in as the best deck, but we haven't been dealing with Yubel as long, so it's like, okay, like fine, give Yubel the next 3 months and then hit Yubel in 3 months, kind of thing. Like we'll figure it out later, but Snake Eye is the big one here for certain. But yeah, that's basically what I want to do here, just kind of a primer for tomorrow. I'm optimistic. I'm very excited. I cannot wait to bring you a reaction talking about this, and I really think this is just going to give us a good amount of runway to get back into the game, because I haven't been playing the game a ton lately. Also because I've been waiting for a lot of archetypes and decks that are coming out very soon in the next couple of products that we've kind of been waiting on. But this is the first step in kind of putting us in a format where I can be really, really excited to jump back into the competitive scene again. So let's get it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Fingers crossed on the ban list. Hopefully what you're hoping for gets the changes that is to your liking. Same as me, but I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks for watching. Peace.